I got my socks fitted. You know how I roll. This is how we roll. Yeah. Homicidal clothes cause I'm dressed to kill. Leave 6 bitches oohing cause I'm worth a mill. Flow is ill, spitting no vomit spill. Killing them softly but I ain't Lauren.
What is up, my people? Welcome to another episode of the Townie Sports Podcast. I am one of your 2 talking heads today, or actually 3 talking heads today. I am, of course, as always, alongside none other than Vic. Vic, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing wonderful, Sammy. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. And, of course, we have a special guest on today to give us some crazy hot takes, great player bets, player props, everything that you need to make some extra beans, as we like to call it on this show, because we don't really bet over here, but you know, we like to dabble in some metrics, if you will. None other than our homie Chris, Bird Person. How you doing, Chris? Thanks for joining us.
Doing good, but don't act like you don't bet. I've seen those Sammy snacks.
I tend to dabble every once in a while, but you know, I try to keep it to myself, but it's all good. Try to make a little money. So let's dive right into it, because obviously we have a big game on tonight, Thursday night football. So we'll start there. Chris, why don't you dive in for us? Tell me what you like tonight. We got the Eagles against the Houston Texans tonight. I believe the starting line is Eagles -14. And do you like any other props? Are you touching any of those points? What are you doing here?
So the points, that's a lot of points, but I really don't think they'll have an issue cover it. Personally, I've kind of been getting away from betting on NFL games, especially the spreads. The NFL's broken right now. Nothing makes sense. The NFC East is the strongest division in the league, and it's everything that the AFC West people thought was going to be.
Right.
I mean, even the Commanders are at 4-4, which is better than some the top of some other divisions. So I don't know. Things are backwards, but I think what we can look forward to is players, because I think we have a good idea of what players are doing and their consistencies and trends and numbers, but that's not what we want to look for with props. So if we're going to do one for tonight, which I want to get in because the game starts in 15 minutes, so I would say place it now, or you could wait a little bit. The odds will just keep getting better if you can get a live bet in, and really what we want to do is with props, screw the trends. I want some narrative. I want backstory. So there's a few things that I always look for. One, if a baby's just born, that's something you want to look for, especially if they skip the birth of the child to play the game, because they got to get a touchdown for the baby. 2, if they have recently deceased parents, or if they have a dead baby, bet the house and then send it to charity, because so you don't go to hell. But that's a lock if you ever hear of that situation. But there's one other narrative I like, and that's a homecoming, and that's what tonight is for Jalen Hurts. He grew up in Houston, Texas. His entire family's from there. All his friends are there. He can say it's a business. It's all just business, just another game. But this one means a lot to him because he said his childhood dream has been to play at NRG Stadium. He has never played at NRG Stadium. Instead, he sat on the sideline watching high school games and other teams play there when his team didn't make it. And also, his uncle was one of the staff people there, so he grew up on the facility. This is a special game for him, and that's why I think, and I'm betting Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown +100. He's tied for 4th in the NFL with rushing touchdowns. That's 1 less than Derrick Henry, and that's tied with Josh Jacobs, more than Austin Eckler, Dalvin Cook, Saquon Barkley, and his own running back, Miles Sanders. So if you can get the bet in now, Jalen Hurts anytime rushing touchdown. Slam it.
Vic, how about you?
I like the Brandon Cooks under on 55.5 yards, if you can find it. Brandon Cooks, on Thursday night, we've seen that these games have been lower scoring. We have seen that the weaker teams not only tend to score, but tend to have trouble on offense. I don't think Davis Mills is here for the hype. I have the under on Cooks. Well, there you go. Now take the under while it's still available.
Yeah.
Is he still playing?
No, he's not, apparently. Kurt told me.
I was just Googling that today. So that makes me like the. That's I like it. You get -13.5, then I really like that.
So then let's go. Devonta Smith So what the over under on what's the catches for Devonta Smith? 3.5 I see here, right?
I can tell you.
I think it's 3.5. I'm gonna go over on the number of receptions for Devonta Smith for over 3.5. I need him to have a big game in fantasy.
So that's why, yeah.
That's the only no other reason why. I was so prepared with the Brandon Cooks thing that I'm so thrown off right now. So I'm just gonna throw anything out there. And Devonta Smith over 3.5 receptions.
Yes, I mean Cooks will definitely go under, so that's a lock.
Yeah.
yeah. If you can find it, book it.
Yeah, I'm with you, Chris. I'm staying away from that Eagles 14. It seems kind of trappy to me. I originally wanted to do a parlay with Houston plus 14, but I think I'm staying away from that. I'm going to keep my money. But I agree with you with the Jalen Hurts thing. I think there's a prop where Jalen Hurts, it's 39.5 rush yards and then 238.5 passing yards. For some reason, I really like the over on the rush yards, but I like the under more on the pass yards. Simply because I'm not saying the Texans are good, but they have shown that they're actually pretty decent in pass protection. But I think everybody runs all over them. So
they're the worst. Good at margin.
Yeah, they're terrible in the rush. So, and I'm also kind of doubling down with a Sanders anytime touchdown and Sanders over 87 yards rushing.
Yeah,
so.
And I don't know what it is. I'd even Kenneth Gainwell something like 25 rushing yards or something like that. Yeah. I'd take that too. Right. I think this could get away from them, and they'll start using some backups.
Yeah, and I think they like to run the ball. So if nobody's stopping them from running the ball, they're just gonna keep doing it. So then the Texans have shown they can't stop anybody from running the ball. So, but yeah, all right. There's your locks. There's some good prop bets for tonight's game. We're gonna get to some more prop bets with our homie Bird Person here in a second with this weekend's slate of football games. But real quick, a little NFL mid-year review because we're going into week 9. Real quick with the trade deadline stuff. Feel free to, budge in whenever you want if you want to see any talking points on these. But Robert Quinn traded to the Eagles from the Bears. He had 18.5 sacks last season. Hasn't really shown that much this season considering, the Bears defense hasn't been that great. To be fair, though, the Eagles bolstered their defense for only a 4th rounder. So, I think that was worth the risk for them. The other defensive player that got traded, obviously Bradley Chubb to the Dolphins from Denver. This one was a little interesting to me for a 2023 first rounder and a 2024 4th rounder. It seems a bit of a home run hit for Miami. It seems like they think that all they need to compete with Buffalo is Bradley Chubb, and they think that their offense and everything else is perfect. I don't know about you guys, but I was kind of like, that's kind of a lot.
They got Jeff Wilson.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no. Did they also have to give away Chase Edmonds? So
that is right, because not only did they just trade for him, then they just signed him without even seeing him play to a long-term contract. I heard. Yeah. Just not a couple hours ago. I didn't see the terms of it, but I was like, all right, that's their guy, I guess.
Yeah. So the other one, Vic's team that he always talks about having a great defense, which I always disagreed with, and it shows that their defense, they knew they needed some addressing. The Ravens traded for Roquan Smith from the Bears, so it seems like obviously the Bears are on a fire sale right now for A.J. Klein and a 2023 second rounder and a 2023 5th rounder. I thought that was a fair trade.
They just traded for a receiver, didn't they?
Did they? When?
Yeah, they traded for Claypool, so I wouldn't know if they... I don't
That Claypool's great, isn't he?
He's not bad. He gave up a second rounder for him.
I would give up a second rounder for Claypool if that's the value I'm going to get. If I'm going to get a decent receiver for a second rounder, I don't think it's that bad. But when you trade 2 of your top defensive players, especially in the on your defensive line, I don't know. I feel like their only plus was their defense. I don't think their offense was that great, and I think they wanted to have some semblance. I think they wanted to show some commitment to Justin Fields, but
yeah. I don't know what they're doing there. That was a weird trade. Right?
Very confusing.
I know you were about to bring it up, so that's my bad. But it's like talk about like one step forward, two steps back. You literally got rid of your two best players on defense, and literally you gave up a second rounder for Claypool, and you got a second rounder back for Roquan Smith. So I mean, I don't get it.
I'm confused as well.
It's weird.
Then the other one, Kadarius Toney traded to the Chiefs from the Giants for a 3rd and 6th round pick in 2023. A lot of people saw that as kind of a bust move, just considering Kadarius Toney hasn't really, shown us a lot. Considering he was number 20 overall pick. I don't know about I don't know what I think about this trade, but what do you think of this trade, Vic?
I thought it was just another wide receiver into the fray for the Kansas City Chiefs. It's funny. We got Chris here who, shortly after he was traded, made a trade with me in our fantasy league. I traded Kadarius Toney to him for Tyquan Thornton.
In Dynasty.
Patriots. In Dynasty. The Dynasty League. Yeah. But I probably would have done it straight up too, to be honest with you. That's how I feel like. Remember back in the day when the Patriots were like, you could never have a Patriots wide receiver because they were just kind of meh.
Right.
Like you didn't know who was going to get the targets that week. Like you could have Edelman and he'd go off. That's what I feel like the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be this now.
Yeah.
That's what they look like. I'm a little higher on it only because he was a first round. Kadarius Toney was a first round pick last year. He's one of his biggest things, he's been extremely injury prone. I don't know how many of those injuries last year was the Giants sucking, but he was injured a lot this year and they're winning. But from everything that I heard is he was eager to get back out there and the staff wasn't letting him. So I don't know. Maybe maybe they're ready to take the wheels off, or maybe he's just going to pull his hamstring again. But when in some of those games last year, like against Dallas, he's one of the only players I saw that kind of reminded me of Tyreek Hill. Right. So, if the upside's there, the talent's there, if he can stay healthy, no one has claimed that top spot for the Chiefs. And if he can do what he did in a couple of those games last year with Patrick Mahomes throwing to him, maybe he could be the guy. It's kind of just a bet on Mahomes hasn't found his guy yet. So I'll take the first round pick last year and see if the Chiefs and Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes can make it work.
Yeah.
If his hammies work, I don't know. But
I like what the Chiefs are doing, right? You're just playing the statistics game. Somebody's gonna pop, right? Somebody's gonna hit. You get 3 or 4 different receivers that all have different skill sets to try to match up to what you lost with Tyreek Hill, right? Because that's obviously a huge loss. They couldn't pay both Mahomes and Tyreek Hill, and they're still winning, right? I mean, that's the important thing. They have nothing to lose in this trade.
It seems like it's made the Chiefs a little more dangerous in the sense that it's harder to tell what they're going to do.
Right.
You can go, yes, he's going to throw it to Kelsey, but you don't know Mahomes' guy is. You don't know who to do. And it's made Mahomes spread his talent around. He's had, I think he's thrown receptions to like 11 different wide receivers now or something crazy. Like, and that's the person you want throwing and feeling comfortable. And if he trusts all his guys, then that just makes the team that much more dangerous, even if they don't have an alpha wide receiver yet.
Right. Yeah, perfectly said. And then obviously, as Vic mentioned, Chase Claypool to the Bears from Pittsburgh for a 2nd round pick. Obviously, that's very confusing for everybody. And then James Robinson to the Jets, so depth addition there. Since Breece Hall got injured, they pretty much, went all in on that just for a conditional 6th rounder. And it just shows, like, man, James Robinson is just so shit on, like, his whole career that all he could get was a conditional 6th rounder. Man, keep balling, dude. Like, just keep balling, man. That's all I got to say.
He was an undrafted free agent, though, so
yeah.
That's that's a step. That's one step.
I guess. And then
two steps forward.
The final one, obviously the biggest impact I think we've already seen is Christian McCaffrey to the 49ers. So obviously 4 draft picks. The highest was a 2023 2nd rounder from San Francisco. He had a big game against the Rams, obviously, where he ran, passed, and caught a touchdown. This is really good for the 49ers, really good for Jimmy Garoppolo. He's got Debo, Ayuk, and McCaffrey. I think it's going to be a pretty dangerous trio. I think it makes their offense a little bit better in a sense that you kind of what you alluded to with the Chiefs. Like, you don't know who they're going to go to. If Debo, obviously barring Debo being healthy. But since their defense is already really good there in San Francisco. So, but yeah, that was really quick on all of those mid-year trades that just went through this past week. So yeah, with the slates going on this weekend, Chris, what props, what bets are you looking at for Week 9 in the NFL?
Yeah, so there's and before I share this one, because I have a Sunday prop of the week, and it's a little hard to look up props on a Thursday because even though the odds are out there and stuff, they start to pop up more and more sites and more options as it gets a little bit closer. But I was able to go on a couple sites and find some odds, and the one that interests me, which I didn't think would, and I want to get a temperature check from Vic in Tampa. Even though you're not a Tampa fan, what is the vibes on the Bucks right now, out and about in the area? Like how does it, like, obviously there was so much excitement with the team, and there's a lot going on in Brady's personal life. I feel like New England's kind of like the older kids in this divorce. We don't care that they got split up, but Tampa Bay's there like the child, the little baby now, and they're wondering if it's their fault. And how are people feeling about the team from what you've seen?
Here on the ground, Chris, they don't give a fuck. It looks like. I think it's just business as usual. I mean, I saw Tom Brady posted some like Nordstrom fucking app on his Instagram. It was really weird, but I think it's just business as usual for these guys. I mean, yes, Tom Brady's divorce is huge for Tom Brady and his family, but in retrospect, how many of these guys go through divorces on a daily basis? These guys are all professional.
Daily basis.
Most of them are all professional.
This guy's getting divorced every day.
For real, dude. For real. Homie's getting divorced every day because somebody's sleeping with somebody else's mama. Anyway.
But how the divorces are publicized that you need to stop football or break up your family of 13 years, and he chose the Bucks. That's the team that satisfies him physically, emotionally, sexually, whatever it is.
I think. Yeah, well, you saw how Mike Evans stuck up for him in that scuffle they had, so there might be something going on there. But I don't know. I don't really care, to be honest with you. I kind of love watching it happen as a Patriots fan. Yeah. Watching Tom Brady implode because he's a psychopath. Let's be honest. Like, he is like there's like Dahmer, Gacy, Drake.
Yeah.
Like,
where's AB rank on that psychopath list?
Dude, AB is like up there with Kanye. Like, in what the fuck is going on land? Yeah. Because I mean, these guys, there's something weird happening there in Tampa / wherever Kanye lives, wherever Kyrie hangs out. They all hang out in this kind of club together. That's just club nonsense. And I can just imagine a round table with Kyrie Irving, Kanye West, and Antonio Brown. That's what they should do. HBO should cancel the shop and just call it the round table. And it's just AB, AB, Tom Brady, Kanye West, John Daly, and Kyrie Irving.
Throw Andrew Tate in the mix, huh?
Even Andrew Tate, sure. I don't know who that is.
Well, so like you said, you mentioned that I too, when I was looking at I went on Instagram and I saw Tom Brady first thing in the morning posted it's weird, but one of his weird, so he's back to his little viral videos that are like probably staged to promote something, and which made me think. So he's on social media again. Obviously, he's on social media a lot anyway. He sees what everyone's talking about. He sees the memes making fun of him. And, the Bucks have been really frustrating. I almost closed all my betting accounts when they couldn't cover a 14-point teaser against the PJ Walker-led Carolina. Like, that was an absolute disaster. I almost shut it down. So
you and many other people from what I read.
What was it?
You and many other people from what I read.
Yeah, seriously.
Well,
a lot of survivor pools destroyed.
And I don't want to turn this into tiny gossip, but let's be honest.
I like the name of that show.
We're first hearing about the divorce now. The divorce probably happened when he decided to come back to football, because she was probably like, God, you fucking suck now that you're home all the time. No, like, I don't want to be with you anymore. He's like, well, then fuck it, I'll just go back to football. And like, yeah, let's get a divorce later on. I'm like, yeah, fuck it, let's do that. And then so he decided to go back to the Bucks, and knowing that the divorce was coming, so he probably was aware that this was coming down the pike.
I think she gave him the ultimatum of you, because she even said it's her time to follow her dreams and stuff, and Tom, it's your time to watch the kids, and he did, then his psych came back. But so
I'll be honest, like low key, like she's not that hot. Like she's okay. Like she's not the same Giselle like that from like 20 years ago.
Your wife
like,
would be so proud of you.
Like girl, you're a model. Like,
well, think about the girls Tom Brady's gonna bang now. I'm excited to see that.
Exactly. Let's see. Does he go on the DiCaprio tour? Let's see.
Yeah. Well, so that adds to my point. So I'm not betting on the Bucks here, but I am ready to bet on Tom Brady for the prop of the week this game. We've seen revenge tour Tom. We've seen Tom Brady doesn't have it Tom anymore a couple times. We've seen suspended Tom. We've seen everyone doubting Tom. We haven't seen served the divorce papers Tom. He said that this team wants to be my life. I want to do this. So my prop of the week is Tom Brady over 1.5 passing touchdowns, minus 130. I mean, it regardless if they're winning or losing, I think he's going to find a way to get there. It's also against the Rams, who I believe are the people that potentially ruined his retirement tour, where he would have gone to the Super Bowl, probably won, and then retired, still be with his wife and kids, have a happy ending, sail off into the sunset. The Rams took that from him in the playoffs.
Todd Bowles actually took that from him. Let's be honest.
Todd Bowles took his head.
And he's now the head coach of the team that is actually doing really bad. So,
yes, it's Todd Bowles and the Rams have jointly ruined Tom Brady's life.
Cover 0 on 4th down. Leave Cooper Kupp wide open.
Yeah, it's right, and I think that's what made Tom come back. He wants to end on a Super Bowl. He had his opportunity, but it convinced him he still has it. And now I don't know. I don't see how they get back. I think they're going to struggle to make the playoffs. But I don't know. Maybe truly divorce Tom. The distractions are over. Maybe it starts coming together, because it is a crazy story to choose football over your supermodel, insanely rich wife that you have a family with. And there's a lot of factors that go. I'm not saying that, but he did choose football. It's all there is. He wants to keep playing football, and he needs to show and prove to everyone that he made the right decision. So 1.5 touchdowns, I think he gets that easy. I'm not touching who wins. I think both teams are extremely underperforming. I think it's like -3 in favor of the Bucks right now, but and I could definitely see that with how crappy the Rams have been, but I don't want to touch that. I just want to bet on Tom Brady. If you believe he still has the vigor and satisfaction to pleasure a girl twice in one night, then he definitely can score 2 touchdowns in one game.
Yeah. I'm all in on alimony Tom.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting you say that too, because I've talking about the temperature down in Tampa, other than it being sweltering hot all the fucking time. I'm noticing. I mean, it could be a combination of a lot of season ticket holders using that game in particular to kind of make some of their money back. But I'm seeing a lot more people, on my Instagram, Facebook feeds that are like, "Oh, I have 2 tickets to the Bucks Rams game this weekend, this and that." And I see the price start to drop, right? They'll offer it first at one price, and then they'll start kind of dropping it, seeing that, nobody wants to see that. I mean, 8 weeks ago, we're talking about this is probably the game of the week, right? But now we're looking at it as like, damn, that game might actually be kind of a snooze fest. Like, that game might be crappy. And you said it perfectly. Like, the NFL is broken, and,
I mean, even it still should be if you just look at not how the games have went. If you just on paper wrote down the names on offense on the 2 teams, it 100% should be the game of the week. And that just hasn't performed. Instead, Jets versus Browns was one of the most exciting games of the year.
Right.
You guys think this is the first time an NFL player has ever not had to pay alimony and instead got paid alimony?
Probably. I think so.
Yeah, he's going to get alimony payments.
Yeah.
Right? I would think so.
I would think so.
Lawyers in the chat? Is he gonna have to
I don't know if that's how alimony works. I guess it's just money based. The guy does.
Yeah, it's just money based.
Yeah.
It's all money based.
He's used to a certain life, and he can't live that life anymore.
Sexist, Chris. What are you saying here?
Yeah.
They might be in this case.
But depends what fans their teams are from.
Yeah, exactly. He's gonna get a Jets fan as a judge.
Yeah, fuck you, Tom Brady.
Tom Brady goes to shit.
You ruined my life.
Yeah.
You fucking had it. You fucking had it.
A bunch of teams are just gonna sue him.
Yeah, is that all you got for your props for this weekend? I mean, I know, like I said, or like you said, I know it's really early, so.
Yeah, I'm just giving out one for the week. I'll look for some more later, but that's just the one that stood out for me. It's the perfect combination of stats and narrative that I like to see. So, yeah, I just think if the game is any ounce of competitive, which it should be, I mean, even Stafford should be capable of throwing 2 touchdowns here.
Right.
So,
right.
And Brady will. And if Stafford does, Brady has to.
Right.
Like, even if it's in the last 2 seconds of the game and they're down 15 points, so he'll figure out how to do it.
Yeah. But all right, back to our Townie Digress, where we touch on the New England Patriots. So obviously last week, got a win against, as Vic called them, I believe 2 weeks ago, kind of the fluky Jets. Ramondre Stevenson proves to continuously be the unsung offensive hero of this team. Pretty much looking like our version of Alvin Kamara. And it's something that I kind of pointed out to A-Rod a few weeks ago. I'm like, dude, like, he might be one of the more underrated running backs. And I think this game in particular, and I believe the last game as well, he showed, like, I can do it all. I can catch the ball in the open field. I can run the ball like Derrick Henry. Like, obviously not exactly, but I mean, he has the strength to run the ball, you know, between the tackles as well as going outside. So, overall, ugly day for our offensive line. Big credit, though, to the Jets defense. According to Pro Football Focus, as Vic likes to quote a lot, they are the first-ranked defense or first graded defense in all of NFL. So, you know, maybe that's part of why the O-line didn't look so great. But overall, we're 4-4 on the season. Vic, what is your temperature right now with the New England Patriots?
Like, are we talking about this season, or are we talking about all together?
Just in general, man. Like just overall.
Oh, breaking news! Nets just suspended Kyrie Irving for 5 games, at least 5 games.
5 games
for being an anti-Semite. So anyway, going back to it, Sammy, my temperature is. How do I want to put this? Do I want to put it in terms of like heat or in terms of like numeric? I'm gonna go heat. I'm very cold. I'm at 0 degrees Celsius. That's freezing, baby.
Oh, wow.
So water would freeze on
freezing cold takes.
Oh my god, this team is fucking rudderless. Other than Ramondre Stevenson and the somewhat bright spots of Traquan Thornton. This team doesn't have a quarterback. That's the biggest issue, right? And there's no lane to get a quarterback. Bailey Zappi sucks. Mac Jones sucks. They all suck. If Brady Quinn was back there, he'd suck. Everybody sucks. I don't know why I brought up Brady Quinn.
Dude had a cannon.
Yeah. I don't know, Sammy. How am I supposed to feel about this team?
Chris,
I'm not going to give you stats today because I think I may be battling a bout of COVID, but so I didn't have a chance to get in there and get all nerdy. But I'm just going to tell you how I feel from the heart today.
Good.
From the heart, as a Patriots fan, I feel like I fucking want a divorce. I want to pull a Giselle and I want to say fuck you. I'm now a Seahawks fan.
He's been hammering it from week 2, so I give you that. Chris, what about you? You watch Patriots on a weekly basis. Obviously, you got the jersey on. What is your temperature with the New England Patriots when you watch them every week?
I mean, my expectations weren't high, and it's we're in this weird period. I want to see. I agree with you. Ramondre Stevenson is something kind of special that we have on the team, and I actually think and I don't think, I love having Damian Harris too. He does have a nose. He's I don't think he's as good at Alvin running back, but he has a really good nose for the end zone, which is really important. But I think Damian Harris getting hurt was also a really nice sign, because I think Stevenson is one of those players, and I'm not trying to comp him to someone like, Derrick Henry or stuff like you were saying, but I think he can catch the ball with great, but he also has that like LeGarrette Bluntness, where you just get him going and give him the ball again and let him kind of, hit some holes and pound it and get his feet under him and rolling. And then once he does, he just has that ability just to find the hole and cut fast. And if someone's near him, they just kind of like fall off of him. It's nice to see, and it's definitely underrated. And the problem is, I don't know how many situations the Patriots are going to be in with the offense to have a nice where they can really only lean on the run game. We're going to have to throw the ball to stay competitive in this league.
Right.
And Mac Jones, it hasn't been showing it. I still think he is the go-to starter. I think the controversy between the two of them is mildly interesting at best. It's like, I don't know, like Kevin Durant versus the internet. Like, yeah, we want the internet to win, and Mac Jones is nothing like Kevin Durant. But the argument between like this big battle between them, I don't think is as meaningful as people want to make it. Right. I think Bailey Zappi is a backup that succeeded when he was asked to against bad teams. He's Garoppolo. He's Jacoby Brissett. Someone will overpay for him next season. That'll help us out, but we'll probably be stuck still with Mac Jones. And I don't know if that's the answer. I don't know. I want to see him take that next step. At least when Zappi comes in and he throws the ball, it seems to have a little bit of authority on it and intention, and he makes a quick read. Mac Jones just does these lame little like lob things. Like, he's so afraid of the ball getting picked off that he wants to like slow drop everything into their hands. But the problem is the free safety can see it from a mile away, running across the field and intercept it because he has 5 minutes to get to the ball. And, at least that's why those true drives when Bailey Zappi came in, and don't lie, every Patriots fan thought we maybe had the next Tom Brady. They're texting their parents just like, oh my God, it's Zappi hour.
We may still have the next Tom Brady. Remember, Tom Brady didn't turn into Tom Brady overnight, folks. It took a few games for him to get going. I believe he lost 2 of the first 3 games he played, right? Or when he...
So Zappi's better than Tom Brady. Got it. You heard it from Vic.
No. I'm not saying Zappi's better than Tom Brady. I'm just saying Mac Jones fucking sucks. Yeah. Like, fucking sucks. Like, I would rather have P.J. Washington back there. I think he's the worst quarterback start. Yeah, P.J. Walker. No, P.J. Washington. I would rather have P.J. Washington. I would rather have P.K. fucking Subban back there. Okay, dude? This guy fucking blows. I need Mac out, Zappi in. At least Zappi's competent. And people in the chat saying Bailey Zappi's another Jimmy G, and I appreciate you coming in, Arctic. But I would love if Bailey was Jimmy G, because right now we got fucking Dickhead McGee at quarterback. He sucks.
Yeah, I think the most interesting thing to happen this season to the Patriots, or the best thing to happen to the Patriots this season, was Brian Hoyer getting hurt.
Yeah.
And at least we have something interesting to talk about and watch. Because if Brian Hoyer didn't get hurt, we would have just had boring Hoyer back there, not learn anything about our offense. And instead we learned that we still have no quarterbacks. Yeah. So it's, but I'll say, like, yeah, Zappi has been exciting. I don't want to put those picks that he did throw against the Bears towards the end of the game. It just was, the game was away at that point. The defense is at fault for a lot of it, but it just, I don't know. I mean, Mac Jones didn't help, put us in a hole in the first place. Who knows if Zappi came out and got 14 points without them scoring out? Like, I don't know. There was a lot of problems with that. It was nice to see some, but I also think we stole that game against the Jets. I mean, they had a pick six that was called back for something completely regardless of the play. That was just an awful interception, and that would have almost made the game. I think that would have put the Jets up 10 at that point, or maybe even more. And we got really lucky there to come away with a field goal or whatever it was. But that's all. I hate that every drive I watch is just like, I hope we get a field goal here, and that's what it's felt like for a while.
It's what Vic kept saying last week.
You know what the issue is, really? It's that in the 2020 season, when we had a chance to fucking suck, goddamn fucking Bill Belichick refused to suck, made us go 7-9, and instead of being able to draft a good quarterback, we end up with fucking Mac fucking Jones.
No, but I think you're getting to something here, and I think it's something that Chris and I discussed in that group chat in the beginning of the year, where we're in an unfortunate position, or this sounds so like it sounds terrible to say, right? Because Patriots fans, unfortunate position. I mean, relatively speaking, right? It sounds very spoiled of us, but Bill Belichick is a gift and a curse. In a sense, it's like he's obviously one of the greatest coaches of all time, right? And when you have him there, you know, like, he's not going to potentially lose you a game. He'll indirectly lose you a game because he won't draft offensive players, but in a sense, he won't lose you a game live. But with that being said, we're always in this position with him as our coach where we're never bad to get the opportunity to draft a quarterback of that next caliber. So we're always going to be stuck at that 7-9, or probably 7-10, 8-9, 9-8, where we're not going to be bad enough to get a good quarterback, and we're just going to be constantly just in this continuous cycle. And I think you said it perfectly too, Chris, where, he's tremendous at drafting defensive players, not essentially player talent, but more players that fit his system perfectly. And that's why our defense is never like god awful. And that's not good either.
That's why when you see him get rid of cornerbacks and everyone's like, why are you getting rid of that guy? They always suck after because they're system cornerbacks.
Yep.
They're like, no, like, I mean, J.C. Jackson is a man coverage cornerback, and the Chargers had him in zone, and he's just getting destroyed to the point where his body gave up. But he was benched. Yeah. I mean, he was like people were furious that we got rid of. People were mad we got rid of Stephon Gilmore. Mad we got rid of Butler. All of them were nothing after they left, and that's where Bill shines, and that's why we don't really get blown out, and that's why when we're winning, we look really good for the most part, and everyone gets really excited again, and it's hard to count. It's just it's a weird place to be in, and it's frustrating because we're just we're always a couple pieces away that just haven't been coming.
Yeah,
and we're seeing the struggles of not. Because when you have a great quarterback like Tom Brady, then Bill can have a field day and just get all the defense that he wants or all the O-linemen he wants. But now he has to worry about quarterbacks and then also admit that he has to start looking at wide receivers that can elevate the quarterback, not a quarterback that can elevate a wide receiver, which I think he still thinks Mac Jones can do with our current squad, and he can't.
Jacoby Myers makes him look so good. And he's not even good.
I mean, he was like at least from a fantasy perspective, it was like the wide receiver like 9 or 8, like as of like a couple of weeks ago, and he's just, he's good for our system, but he should be, for us to be a great offense, he should be a luxury wide receiver 3. We're like, we got Myers as our third best. That's awesome. That would be sick. But he's our number 1, and that's lame.
That's so lame.
I think that Bill has put us in a really precarious situation here, where we should be tanking this year, looking at C.J. Stroud. We should be looking at Bryce Young. These are the guys that we should look at as our future. Mac Jones is not our future. The problem is, I think that Bill Belichick has an issue with mobile quarterbacks, and you can read into that as whatever you want. But he had the chance to get Lamar Jackson. He had the chance to get Jalen Hurts. Neither of these quarterbacks, and he could have gotten those quarterbacks when Brady was still there and still chose not to for some reason. That's what really upsets me the most. If Bill knew, because it was Bill's decision to get rid of Brady, right? Because the only reason Brady stuck around so long was because Kraft wanted him there, right? If it was up to Bill, Brady would have been gone 4 seasons earlier, 3 seasons earlier, and we would have been having Jimmy G as a starting quarterback. So let's really bust Bill's nuts here, because he's and congratulations, Bill. You can draft the 7th most important position on the football field. We're all happy for you. Nothing like seeing a number 1 corner out there.
Consistently, honestly, though, it's pretty impressive.
Wow, good for him. You can see it's really made a difference in our record. The most important positions are on offense, and if you can't draft an offense, you are a relic. Bill Belichick is a relic. I know as crazy as it sounds and as bad as it sounds to Patriots fans and to non-Patriots fans, I sound like a whiny guy who was happy, who just shits on his team all the time, which I do. I do shit on this team a lot because they fucking suck to watch. But
you still do it. You still do it.
I still watch. It comes from a place of love. Bill, I love everything you've done for us, but God damn it, you're out there like Joe Biden right now, just fucking making no sense.
It's true. All right, let's move on. We could probably talk
Sorry,
about the Pats all day.
Yeah.
But a couple
I'll tell you, Sammy, Miles Sanders got a touchdown. So
there it is.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, Sammy Snacks, beat him up, baby.
So obviously, as you guys mentioned, no deadline moves. Would have loved to see maybe a move for DJ Moore, but obviously that wasn't going to happen.
Why?
I think,
Why? Our
some,
wide receivers are good.
I mean, just
Or get Brandon Cooks back.
yeah, or Brandon Cooks, exactly.
But why? Why? So a fucking trash can to throw to him? Who cares?
Just so we don't have Jacoby Myers as our number one wide receiver. Like, I'm so tired. I love Myers.
Jacoby Myers, Devontae Parker, Nelson Aguilar, Traquan Thornton, and he's still fucking. Nobody can get him the ball.
Nelson Aguilar
It's
sucks.
the quarterback, not the receivers.
Nelson Aguilar sucks.
I think the quarterback sucks.
And another person, I know we like to say it about our homie Sean, but another player that we do not deserve as Patriots fans is Matthew Judon. He's currently second in the league in QB pressures this season at 39, behind Myles Garrett at 41. I feel so bad for that man. I love that man, the red sleeves. I love it all. Love when he, wipes his mouth after a sack, and he's absolutely crushing it this year. And yeah, we don't deserve Matthew Judon back there.
Would you rather have Gardner Minshew or Mac Jones right now?
Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, me too.
I said that.
I mean,
I think I said that last season too.
Like I said, it's the same thing with like Hoyer getting hired. I just want it to be fun at this point, and Minshew would be fun at least.
Exactly.
Let's see what
Sling it.
happens.
Sling
Can
it.
we bring in Big Dick Nick?
I was just about to say that. Bring Nick Foles in, man. Fuck it. Let him sling it.
I would have loved Jameis Winston. He was there, but we went with Cam Newton instead of Jameis. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
God, fuck you, Bill.
All right, since we like to, jerk off to the AFC, I got a little bit of an NFC roundtable here. So obviously the Eagles. What is the current score? Do you guys have it up?
7-7.
7-7. Oh boys.
Texans scored first, really
Nice.
quick. It's still first quarter.
Nice.
Do you know if Davis Mills threw that?
Threw it to.
Did he throw it? Was it a passing touchdown or?
Oh, I'll tell you, it was a passing touchdown to Quintario Tegan.
Well, there goes my top bet.
Oh, I knew that guy was going to
Is
get
that
one.
Julio Jones' real name?
Yeah. So there you have it. The Eagles tied currently. They are remaining dominant. I don't think they'll cover that 14. I think they'll still win. Cowboys and Giants
Two-yard pass.
are breathing down their necks. So as Chris said perfectly at the top of the hour, the NFC East is the dominant division this year. I don't think anybody saw that coming. But let's get to it too. I mean, we have perfect segues. What the hell is going on with the NFC South, where we have the Atlanta Falcons at 4-4, top of the division halfway through the season? I mean, this is something that we all joke about, that they're 6-2 against the spread this year. So they've been the spread darlings all season.
Yeah.
But
Are they really?
they are. They're 4-4, top of the division. Second place is 3-5.
I mean, they're 4-4. I think they've been an underdog every game.
Yeah.
Except maybe the last one, and it was like a pick'em.
Yeah.
You know that there's that meme of and this is more in basketball circles, so I don't know if you've seen this meme, Chris, but it's Danny Ainge looking at Will Hardy with his eyes like in his mouth drop like what the fuck did I do? Utah's actually good. I feel like is it Mike's who's the GM of the Falcons? I feel like he's feeling that way right now. Like, what the fuck did I do?
Yeah. And they have Cordero Patterson coming back next week.
Yeah, crazy. Wow.
Yeah. And they're throwing the ball about 15 times a game.
I know. I picked up Mariota.
And don't forget, Calvin Ridley's coming back, baby, next year.
Yeah, I hope so. That'll be fun.
Jacksonville. He got traded to Jacksonville.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wait, I didn't see that. Wait, hold on. We didn't fucking put that in the notes.
Oh,
it
he's not
doesn't
playing this year. Yeah, it doesn't affect anything this year.
Well, that's a fucking huge deal. God damn it! I've been on a work trip. I haven't been able to keep up.
Oh
with this
yeah,
shit.
Calvin Ridley got traded to the Jaguars for like a conditional fourth or something, conditional third, something like that.
What a fucking sick pickup by this. Why are we not talking about this? This is a sick pickup for the Jags. Are you kidding me? Him with Trevor Lawrence next year, Jags are going to win the AFC.
If he can play. If he can play. That's the big
Of
stipulation.
course he's going to be able to play. What do you mean?
They don't know.
If he can play.
Yeah.
He didn't kill anybody. fuck, we gotta get like Ray Blippen. He's playing in 2
He has
games.
to be reinstated first, so that's why.
But he was not playing before the gambling thing. He was taking a mental health break.
Yeah.
He's because of gambling.
As we discuss gambling on our show.
The same.
I need the mental health break from this season betting on the games because, like you said, the Falcons are leading at 4-4, their division, which.
And it's crazy, right?
Because it's like when we asked Jordan to take off 2 years and he went to go play baseball because he wanted to play baseball.
Yeah.
It was a wink. It was like they kicked him out of the league for 2 years.
Yeah. I mean, the Falcons could essentially win the division since the rest of their schedule. They have the easiest schedule in the NFL going forward.
Hold on. Have you looked at the Eagles' schedule?
No, the Falcons.
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 No, I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, they have the easiest, yeah.
The easiest schedule.
The Falcons are 31st.
No, Falcons are 31st. Ravens are 32nd. Eagles are 28th.
Yeah. So
I mean, the Falcons, though.
Bird person must be loving it. All the birds are going to be, in the playoffs.
It's a bird. Yeah, it's
the bird world out there, baby. You know what's funny?
No team has ever beat all the birds. I saw a stat about. I don't know.
Really?
In a season, I forget. I think Brady had the first chance to do it, and I guess they haven't won enough game against birds, but
he lost in the Super Bowl to the Eagles.
I don't have my bird stats handy, but birds are undefeated. No one's
right now. They have a 42% chance to make the playoffs.
Yeah,
right?
So it's Panthers, Bears. Oh wait, I got where to go. Oh, Chargers next. That's pretty tough. Panthers, Bears, Commanders, Steelers, Saints, Ravens, Cardinals, Bucks. That's harder than the Eagles' schedule. I just want to read it real quick if you haven't looked at it.
You can't put the Bucks as hard anymore, though. Like I feel like
I know you can't. But are they gonna sweep the? Or actually, no. The Bucks won their game, but barely.
The Bucks have the 27th easiest remaining schedule. I'm sorry. The fifth.
Here are the Eagles' games after this one against, by the way, the Houston Texans. Commanders, Colts, Packers, who Aaron Rodgers might be on jeopardy by then. Titans, Giants, who I guess are good. Bears, Cowboys, Saints, Giants again. I mean, there's no real test coming for them in the
Cowboys.
Unless, the Giants are. I mean, maybe the defense of the Giants. I don't know. I don't think the Giants have been winning games, but not the way Eagles had. There's nothing that's like, oh man, they could be in trouble when it comes to who they're end up taking a week off, going against the playoffs, playing a really strong team.
Yo, I like what Kurt just said in the chat real quick. He said, I like that Calvin got suspended longer than Watson.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. He'll be back. He'll be back next year. Him and Trevor Lawrence should be catching touchdown passes. And his mental health thing will have gone away because he does not have to gamble anymore. But right now, the Eagles have a 99% chance to make the playoffs. They have the second best percentage chance, according to Pro Football Focus's projections, to win the Super Bowl. Only second behind, drumroll please, the Buffalo Bills at 27% chance to win the Super Bowl. So, the highest of any NFC team. Sammy, without looking at it, can you give me the second highest NFC team in terms of winning the Super Bowl projections?
Hold on. Yeah, no. Vikings, 6-1.
Yeah, the Vikings are tied with the Dallas Cowboys at 7% chance to win the Super Bowl. So, now, back to Chris's point, I don't think it's going to get any harder for this team. They're going to have home field advantage throughout the playoffs until they reach the Super Bowl. There is no chance in my mind.
They stomped the Vikings too. That was their biggest test this season.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if they lose in the NFC Championship game to my Seattle Seahawks, and Geno Smith gets carried off on the shoulders of Pete Carroll, slapping high fives to everybody in the stands.
Dude, big shout out to Pete Carroll, man. That's another coach that I ousted and thought he was overrated, but man, that team is overperforming.
Talk about a guy that grows with the fucking times. Not stuck in his ways, will change his scheme according to the way football is going. God damn it, Bill Belichick.
Was it you guys who I was talking to? Somebody had mentioned that Pete Carroll knew something was wrong with Russell Wilson. That's why he was kind of hiding Russell Wilson behind a lot of. hiding behind a lot of running backs, running plays last season. Like, he knew something was wrong with Russell Wilson's throwing ability, and he ended up getting it.
Let's be honest, that's all wrong
Subway
with
commercial.
here.
It's like, yeah, there's something wrong with this guy. He's not a leader.
You act like he's like Antonio Brown. There's nothing wrong with him.
No, I just meant like physically,
Like
like
dangerous man.
the way he plays. Like,
He is dangerous.
like it's he's not the same quarterback that we've seen.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, 100%.
I mean, he probably did know something, but we all did think he was crazy trying to roll with Geno Smith and Drew Lock. I don't. And Geno wasn't the lead for the start either.
He
It
wasn't.
was like everyone thought it was Lock, and
Didn't Locke
You know,
get
he
COVID
went-
or something?
he went and got Lock. Like, they went and got Lock. They had Geno last year. Geno was their starter, and they went and got him. So
well, they got
it's
Lock in the trade
I think it was a trade. I think it was a swap.
for Russell Wilson. He was in this trade,
Yeah.
but I think that he was comfortable enough with Geno. And put some respect to my man Geno's name.
Oh, I
because-
love him. I'm proud.
Right-
I mean, last
right now-
I heard of him is he broke his nose on the Jets or something, and I was gonna
Right
because
now,
one of his own players punched him.
right now in terms of like point spreads and like how much the quarterback is worth to their team, Geno Smith is worth more right now than Jimmy Garoppolo, Justin Fields, Mac Jones, Jared Goff, Marcus Mariota, Zach Wilson, Davis Mills, Tyler Heineke, and the same as Tua Tagovailoa, who is now apparently the media's darling. I saw on ESPN the other day they were saying that they think that trade can get get these fuckers to the Super Bowl. There's no way. They're first round exits at best. Losers.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Geno Smith. Incredible year from him. Just you love to see it. I love a redemption story. That's why I've been all in on the Eagles, the Seahawks this year so far. The only thing I'm worried about,
If they make the
is that they
Super
have
Bowl,
Mac-
I swear to God, I'm not doing this podcast anymore with you because that's 2 for 2.
Yeah, let's go, baby. Geno fever. They have the 9th.
You look like you got
hardest
Geno
schedule
fever.
remaining. Yeah, they have the 9th hardest schedule remaining. To date, they've had the 30th. So you could see a drop off here from the Seahawks. I don't predict it because I think this team's going all the way.
Yeah, and then lastly, the Vikings with the stronghold of the NFC North, which, as Vic loves to mention, it's such a meh division.
So boring.
It is. It's pretty boring. And we apologize to Kurt. We were all in on the Lions. We have been hammering for the Lions, but they have just continuously let us down this year. I guess that's what
Everybody
it's
wanted
like.
The Lions to be good.
Everybody.
Everybody. But they're not.
Yeah. But all right.
Oh,
Fire the head coach. It's the head coach. He fucking sucks. Dan Campbell, terrible.
He's got a good jawline.
he's a high school soccer coach. He buys everyone pizza and orange slices. And, it's
Capri
not-
Suns.
That's what I'm saying. He's terrible, man. He should be embarrassed.
But all right,
He's gonna get fired.
to one of my
Yeah, fire,
favorite
baby.
news segments that we've been bringing up the last couple weeks, the Who Do You Love? I was calling it What Would You Rather? I'll probably change the name to give it a more towny name, but right now I got it Who Do You Love? Because another podcast does Would You Rather, and I was like, I don't want to copy them.
Oh,
But all right.
sorry, fumble. We're covered by the Eagles. Okay.
All right. So Las Vegas dropped to 2-5 on the season despite making huge moves this offseason. And I was inspired to do this Who Do You Love because I saw a meme that said not even the best wide receiver in the league could make Derek Carr better. So with that being said, who do you love? And I'm gonna give you. Obviously I'm going with Derek Carr here, right? So you got Derek Carr or Daniel Jones.
Derek Carr.
Chris.
I like so for a while. Like,
Right now. This current moment.
Right now. Give me Daniel Jones. Let's get something. He can do something.
Okay.
I think he's showing to be able to do something with no wide receivers.
Okay.
So that's a better fit for the
Sure.
He
Patriots.
might be the only quarterback in the league I want less than Mac Jones.
Derek Carr.
He's making it work with possibly a worse wide receiver core than what we have. So.
Ryan Daboll.
And they just got
have-
rid of Kadarius
They have a
Toney.
good running back, no wide receivers, and
running back. Saquon Barkley's one of the best.
No, they have a good. They're like us. They have a great running back. Well, we have good running back.
They have a better head coach right now, in my opinion. That's why they're doing better.
Dayball's great.
Dayball's incredible.
Dayball's great. All right, Derek Carr or Russell Wilson?
Derek Carr. Just because the distraction of Russell Wilson being Russell Wilson.
I'm embarrassed to doesn't
that suck to say that?
I had Russell Wilson in fantasy, and there was a game where he had gotten like 8 points, and I asked the commission, I was like, can you just take him off my roster and give me a 0? I just don't. It's too embarrassing for me to have this man on my team. We have a moral standard, and it's just in an expectation, and he is just not passing it.
We're feeling dangerous. Yeah.
Derek Carr or Andy Dalton?
Derek Carr.
I got Vic thinking, though.
Derek Carr, but it's really, really close.
Derek Carr, Jacoby Brissett.
Derek Carr.
I'll take Joe. If it's to the Pats, I'll give me Jacoby Brissett back. He knows the system better.
Derek Carr or Trevor Lawrence? That's a little bit easier.
Trevor Lawrence. Not even close.
And I hate Trevor Lawrence.
I've seen so many flashes of good in Trevor Lawrence. I don't know if I would think he's a top 5 guy, Sammy, but I'm a believer again.
Nice. All right, last one.
Trevor Lawrence is a shit. That feels good.
Derek Carr or perfectly for tonight, Thursday night, Davis Mills?
Give me Davis Mills.
I think I go with Davis Mills, too. That team sucks. He reminds me of David Carr.
David Carr was good. He just got sacked.
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. So the Titans get a much-needed win to lengthen their gap in the AFC West. Whoop-de-doo. Nobody cares. But humongous week from Derrick Henry. He had 219 rushing yards. So with that being said, Derrick Henry or Nick Chubb?
Derrick Henry.
I'm bringing this up every week. And you said Nick Chubb last week, so.
Did I really? I said Derrick Henry this week.
All right.
Derrick Henry, I guess. I mean, and Nick Chubb's having an incredible season.
Right. All these names that I'm going to name are having actually really, really good seasons. So.
Yeah.
I guarantee you he's going to bring up Ramondre. Don't worry.
No. I threw that. We already did that last week. So, Derrick Henry or Saquon Barkley?
I would take Saquon Barkley for his passing ability, just being more.
Derrick
Saquon
Henry.
Barkley could get hurt.
Derrick Henry or Josh Jacobs?
Derrick Henry. Oh, Josh Jacobs is doing really good this season. Actually,
he's having.
What are we taking? Are you mean in the terms for like the Patriots or just in
in general? In general, that your own team.
I'd still take Derrick. I think that the system is working well for Josh Jacobs, but to plug a great running back in anyway, I mean Derrick Henry has just done it.
They only win games because of Derrick Henry. Like I don't know another running back in the league that has the kind of impact that Derrick Henry does.
Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs literally has that impact when he rushes the ball over 17 times.
2-5.
Yeah,
because they stopped
this year. They've had Josh Jacobs for a while, and he hasn't fully been that guy.
But they never gave him the ball enough.
They are 2-5. Tennessee's 5-2.
And the 2 wins was when he had over 17 rushing. So,
congrats. Derrick
Henry or Christian McCaffrey?
Derrick Henry.
Take Christian McCaffrey just as a more. If I had to have one
versatile.
There's nobody in the league I would take above Derrick Henry at this point, Sammy.
Okay.
Just because I feel like he is the most impressive running back I've ever seen.
He's still doing it.
Play the game. I've never seen a running back have so much impact on a game by himself. He literally makes Ryan Tannehill not matter. Now, if Ramondre can become Derrick Henry eventually, then I
or Malik Willis, right?
Or Malik Willis, exactly. Malik Willis was in the game last week. It doesn't matter who he's up against. He gives his team a chance to win. Yeah. He means so much to that team. He means so much to them winning. That's why I take Derrick Henry over everybody. He's leading his team to a division-leading 5-2 right now. Yeah. So. Derrick Henry all day.
All right. The Browns get another upset win over the Bengals, moving Joe Burrow to 0-4 against the Cleveland Browns in his career, which is crazy. So obviously we know how Nick Chubb has been doing. But Amari Cooper continues to keep going a very quietly good season, surprisingly.
Really?
Yeah,
Seriously,
very
yeah.
good season. So with that being said, Amari Cooper or Chris Olave?
Oh, I love this. This is a good one, Sammy. So is this? I always forget. So is this season, right? For the remainder of this season?
Oh yeah, from here on.
From here on,
Yeah.
career-wise. Well, I think.
No, I mean not necessarily career-wise, because I think that kind of like
Yeah,
because you want to win
that-
now,
that-
right? Like it doesn't matter. You want to
Right.
win now, no matter what. So
Okay, so I'm trying to win now. This is for this year. I'm going to Cooper all day.
okay.
Yeah, I like that. I do think Chris Olave has shown flashes of being really special and being the number one guy, and I don't think we've seen his potential given the quarterback situation in and out right now. So I think, but I do think Chris Olave overall is a more exciting player, but Cooper is just a really good, like he can be the number one, or he can be one of the best number twos in the league if you have like another option.
You know how I feel about first year wide receivers.
Yep.
I'll take Cooper.
Amari Cooper or Terry McLaurin?
Ooh, that's a good one because we haven't seen McLaurin with a good team yet.
I'd take Terry. I just think I think he has that next gear that hasn't fully been unlocked. I think he's one of the best route runners in the league. I think on a team like he could be Stephon Diggs with a good quarterback if he was given the opportunity.
Man, Sammy, that's tough. That's a really good one.
Yes.
Uh,
I'm getting better at these.
I'm gonna go with Cooper.
All right.
What if
Amari
it's
Cooper. Amari Cooper or Devontae Adams?
Devontae Adams. I think it's all Carr's fault, and even Devontae has shown flashes of making that.
I mean,
making
it's
it,
Jacoby Brissett, guys. Like Amari Cooper
Yeah,
is.
I'm gonna have to go Amari Cooper again, Sammy.
It's crazy,
I
right?
don't think that one's that one's not as close as the McLaurin one.
I mean, you don't think just if Devontae Adams just goes back to Green Bay, he's not Devontae Adams again? And was
No.
Cooper ever Devontae Adams? No.
No, but Cooper's also never played with Aaron Rodgers. He
It's
played
true.
with Dak Prescott.
He also, yeah.
Who we all know is
He played
basically
with
Kirk
Derek
Cousins.
Carr.
Yeah.
And he
That's
sucked.
true. That's true.
Amari Cooper or DK Metcalf?
DK Metcalf.
Yeah, I mean, DK Metcalf's a freak and a true number one. And
But the
you know,
fact
he's-
that I named all those names and you guys had to think about it is just a good indication of
yeah,
like
I don't think
where
it's
Amari
Adams.
Cooper is right now.
I don't think Adams and Cooper is close. I think, we saw Cooper with Carr and he wasn't good. And we saw Devontae Adams with Carr and he's still decent.
We still have not seen Amari Cooper with a good quarterback.
Mhm.
So, like Tammy said, he's getting he's being thrown to, and honestly, probably double covered because there's not another wide receiver on that team.
Yeah.
I mean, other than Donovan Peoples-Jones, who's, let's be honest, not.
He's got
number
3
two.
names.
Yeah, if you have 3 names, you're not great. Especially if one of them's Peoples, because,
Yeah.
come on.
He could be like 5 people.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I think it's Amari Cooper. What he's done this season has been really impressive, especially.
Also, another player the Patriots should have gone after.
Yep.
Yes,
but-
absolutely.
Yep.
Yes. So our trash can of a quarterback.
We also said that on this
Norm
pod too.
Mitchell.
Well, they could continue not having a good quarterback total.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
But all right. So we got the NBA check-in. So I'm going to continue, do a nice little segue with this Who Do You Love? We're going to continue that. So Lakers off to a rough start to the season, 2-5. Coming off a game winner from Matt Ryan. I thought he played football. But with that being said, Russell Westbrook has not been playing well. I mean, most of that team outside of LeBron James has not been doing that great. But with that being said, Russell Westbrook, Vic, I mean, Chris, you can chime in if you want, but you said you're not like...
It won't be that valuable.
Okay. Russell Westbrook or Seth Curry?
Seth Curry.
I think I know your answer to all these. Russell Westbrook or Kelly Oubre? Ah, got him.
Kelly Oubre because he's a wing. I want the wing.
Russell Westbrook or Kyle Lowry?
Fucking hate them
Russell.
both.
I
Russell
know.
Westbrook.
I know.
I would take.
I think Lowry's just
Am I getting Russell Westbrook's personality, or can I tape his mouth shut?
Just saying. These are the names that we're throwing in the hat now.
Lowry's the guy to have in the locker room, and he can hit a big shot. I'm gonna have to go Lowry.
Sucks,
Lowry's
right?
bad.
Russell Westbrook or Fred VanVleet?
Oh, Fred VanVleet's not even close.
Russell Westbrook's actually having I think a better year than Fred VanVleet, but Russell Westbrook,
small sample size, my guy.
or Eric Gordon.
Eric Gordon's still in the league?
Yeah,
Who's he play for? The Heats or the Rockets?
still, yeah.
Shit, man. No, it's not. Yeah, no, you got too crazy. It's Russell Westbrook.
Okay, good. All right, so the other team that I wanted to get to, the Milwaukee Bucks, last undefeated team in the NBA, sitting at 7-0. We hate to see it. We all know what Giannis can do, but Drew Holiday seems to be turning back the clocks. He's playing
Giannis
some of his
cheats.
best basketball since 2018. Drew Holiday in 34 minutes, averaging 20 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, having a great year. So, with that being said, Drew Holiday or RJ Barrett?
Man, I love Drew Holiday. Dude. I loved him back in the day when he was originally with the Sixers, and then got traded to New Orleans. But man, I always loved him. Drew Holiday or RJ Barrett?
Good one,
Drew
right?
Holiday.
Yeah. Drew Holiday or Jalen Brunson?
Brunson.
Drew Holiday or CJ McCollum?
That one's closer. I'm gonna go Holiday because I think Holiday's gonna give you a little bit more on ball.
Okay. Drew Holiday or James Harden?
Harden. The hate's gotten a little bit too hard on Harden. I still think Harden.
Drew Holiday or Tyrese Halliburton? That one's a little easier.
Tyrese Halliburton?
Yeah.
Oh my God! People are treating this guy. He's the next fucking Michael Jordan. Get out of here, that nonsense. It's Drew Holiday, man. Come on.
That's crazy you said that. You went flipped, actually. It's funny. He's having better seasons than McCollum, Brunson, and Barrett. You took those three. Well, I know you didn't take McCollum, but you took the other two. But he's not having better seasons than Halliburton. I mean, small sample size, but so far he's playing really well.
That's a tiny ass sample size, bro. We ain't even 10 games in the league.
Hey, let it ride. Let it ride.
Now.
All right, Vic. So I forgot what we mentioned last week, but I wanted to bring up the order in the court because I told you last time to make the case for the Cleveland Cavaliers to be a top 5 seed in the Eastern Conference, and I think you weren't aboard.
I don't remember.
I think you said they were outside.
Yeah, I think they are just out, Sammy. I think the reason that they are in right now, right, and they were in last season because they were in the same spot last season, right, where they're a top 5 seed right out of the gate.
They're 6-1 right now.
I mean, but Sammy, 2 of those games were against the Celtics, who they are a terrible matchup for. We match up with that team horribly, and we almost beat them last night.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
They are the nightmare matchup for the Celtics.
Don't jump. Don't jump there. We're getting there.
But no, Sammy, this team is not. I saw last night in late game situations. If Ime Udoka is there, we close out that game. We win it.
But he's not.
But he's not because he's a pedophile.
Okay.
I'm sorry. What's the word?
Okay. So, and the other one that I wanted to bring up, I wanted to see if you've kind of switched your gears on this one as well, because these are the two, and I'm probably going to keep this up for like all the next coming weeks. But make the case for the Lakers to miss the playoffs or have a play-in exit.
I think I did that last week, right? Where I said that the case is, I thought that they were going to miss the playoffs.
Oh, okay. I thought you said I thought you were like, oh no, they're going to make it. Unfortunately, but I think there's a case that they're probably not.
No,
okay.
that was A-Rod. A-Rod thought they were going to make it.
Never mind.
I still think they're going to miss it, and here's why. Because they fucking suck. The roster construction is terrible. The team doesn't make any goddamn sense. And Rob Pelinka just got an extension. What the hell is going on there in Tinseltown? Lakers fans, you should riot at the Staples Center because that team is being run so poorly. Nobody knows what the hell is going on. I'm nervous. If I'm a Lakers fan, I'm nervous.
Yeah.
Kobe's rolling over in his grave.
All right, perfect segue to the rivals, the Celtics corner for you, the last segment that we have. Well, I'll get into some NBA headlines as well. I know we got to speed things up. But Celtics are 4-3 on the year. Obviously, losses to the Bulls and twice to the Cavs. Cavs and Bulls, both solid teams. So, real quick, Vic, cause for concern, and if you wanted to add on to your comment about how the Cavs match up with the Boston Celtics.
So, okay, let's break down the two teams that the Celtics lost to, and try and find out why. Okay, so let's look at the
And then Chris, we got you with your email taken a bit in a second.
So we have the Bulls, right? Wow, we lost twice to the Bulls.
Cavs lost twice to the Cavs.
Okay, but it says okay, that's right. 4-3. Okay, so we lost to the Bulls and the Cavs. So the Bulls, I believe, it was coming off a back-to-back, right?
Yeah.
2 road back-to-backs. Acceptable loss. That's what we call a schedule loss in the game, gentlemen. Ladies and children that are now watching the show, it's called a schedule loss. We're used to that. Now, the one that's concerning, the 2 losses against the Cavaliers is completely matchup based. If you look at the matchups and
the first game, they demolished us.
I don't. What was the final of that game?
I think it was like 132 to 120 or some shit like that.
I think it was closer than that during the game. I think they separated in the fourth quarter. I'm sorry, hold on real quick. If you look at the rebounding numbers for those games, I don't even need to look at the box score in front of me. I can tell you we were out rebounded in every one of those games that we lost by at least 10. Okay? That's I don't even need to look at it. I can tell you that for a fact. Okay? The Cavaliers are taller and they're faster than us.
Mobley and Allen.
Okay? That is a terrifying matchup for the Celtics because they are relying right now with Joe Mazzulla at the helm on their speed. And if we cannot get out in front of them, then we are in trouble. It is a miracle that we ended up taking that game last night in overtime, and with better late game execution, we win that game. Marcus Smart should not be out there in the crunch time of a fourth quarter. That man is a liability. I do not like seeing Marcus Smart out there at all with the game on the line. He took 2 horrendous possessions last night in the final 2 minutes of the game that honestly I want to say cost us the game. And
but he also got those offensive fouls in the late game as well. So I mean,
wow, good for him. I'm so happy for him. But those could have been stops, Sammy. I mean, there's nothing to say what could have happened on the offensive foul side of things, right? But let's be honest, the game should have been over with an and one on Tatum, and that was on the refs. But I don't see a world where the Celtics are successful and Marcus Smart is out there in crunch time. The man does not know when no means no. Segue to Udoka.
Chris, what are your thoughts on the Celtics in this Ime Udoka situation? Because obviously things are heating up now where the Brooklyn Nets are in talks right now. They're in a little parlay, and I know you got a little take on what you thought happened with the situation with the Boston Celtics and the Ime Udoka.
It's just weird because, in this, obviously, we've been in an age where things come out and you get in trouble, and we've seen teams kind of get ahead of it, and then the rest comes out. I feel like the only reason we even know what's going on is because the Celtics suspended him. And that's just weird to me in a team where you just went to the NBA championship with. It has to be bad. It has to be where it's not just inappropriate text to, and I don't know if he did anything like really inappropriate. It's just like the newest report that came out, is that he, used offensive, or not offensive language, but inappropriate language. Like, sure, yeah, but like, how weird is it? The thing that he texted to make them so that now
was it a dick pic?
I'm thinking it's dick pics.
I think it was that, but they said he used crude language.
Content. I thought it was content.
He said something really weird.
Yeah, it was probably something that you want this dick.
Like Mel Gibson drunk offensive or weird. Like it could have been like, it had to have been really bad that the Celtics thought they were getting ahead of it, but I just don't see how this would have came. I think he had to have been doing something with someone that didn't like it within the organization, because it's just like it's this woman that was the travel agent booking thing. Like, how would this have gotten out?
No. So that's false reporting. They don't know that for a fact.
Oh, that's not true now. Okay,
No.
So then even more. So it wasn't the woman that wasn't the travel report.
No.
Agent person. Okay, then even more. So I'm back on. He was banging some executive's wife or person, and that they
You're the
said
second
Ime,
person I've heard say that.
They said, Ime, please stop banging our wives. If we have to tell you a fourth time, we're gonna do something. Like, we've already asked you once, we've already asked you twice. You just keep doing it, and you got to stop. And he is like, no. And that's why it's an internal suspension. And then the fact that they seem comfortable to let him walk to the Nets, they're making a statement to the organ. And if he was inappropriate with, I'm not trying to like make light. If he was inappropriate to the one and like put her in a potentially uncomfortable or situation where she felt it's dangerous, sure, I understand you make that move for the organization, right. But I don't think I've ever seen a team try to get ahead of it. Most teams try to brush it under the rug, and I just don't see how this would, if we haven't seen the text or something damning yet, I don't see how this would have gone.
Okay, so this is why. The Celtics are not a team that leaks. They don't leak their trades, they don't leak their signings, they never leaked under the Brad Stevens regime. This team does not leak. They are leak proof. And that's why you're only seeing the new leaks come out when he's being vetted by the Nets. And that's why you're seeing the thing about the inappropriate text coming out now via Nets Daily about him sending inappropriate texts to female staffers. This is not just a banging a wife situation because he hasn't been hired by the Nets yet. If it was just that, he'd already be on a plane on his way to New York. He'd be coaching the Nets tonight.
He may stop banging our wives.
You don't think they're too worried about their wives?
It could be, yeah.
That was so funny.
I mean, it's concerning.
Please stop banging our wives. No.
I mean, he obviously slays. His wife is hot and successful. Like, I mean, Ime's got that.
Long-term partner. That's how you know. That's how you know he's a gigolo, is because that's not his wife. That's his long-term partner.
I wouldn't be surprised if they had an open relationship. I mean, it's just like that's Hollywood.
Agreed.
And
so I think it was her choice.
The report that he's cheating on his wife, I think, is false. But I think, like, because one, it's not his wife, but two, I mean, has anything even came out that they're split up now? No. Like, I haven't seen that.
Nope. She's kept quiet.
No. But I do think that what he did was bad, and I think that what he did is going to make it very difficult for the Nets to hire him, especially with Kyrie Irving being an anti-Semite. You can't have an anti-Semite and a fucking
gigolo.
Well, here's the thing: the Nets organization suspended Kyrie now for 5 games for being an anti-Semite, and the Celtics have suspended their head coach for the entire season for inappropriate text. I mean, what statement is more inappropriate or in making fun of the entire Jewish people? Like,
I would think it was sexual assault, but that's just me.
Well, I don't think it was assault. It was inappropriate text.
That's what sexual assault is.
Well, yeah, but was there any? But did we? But originally they were saying it was that he had relations with someone that were consensual.
Yes, and then
she said no, and he was still texting her. But it's
that
like
lady had broken it off and said, "I don't want to do this anymore," and he kept pursuing and wouldn't drop it. And then now we've just gotten reports that he'd send unwanted text messages to multiple staffers, plural. This guy's in for it. I'm telling you right now. There's no way that the Boston Celtics would tell their head coach that just took them to the NBA Finals.
That's what I'm saying. It's something really big. Like I was saying, if he actually signs with another team, those texts are coming out. I think it comes out. I think the second he inks the dot on another team, the leak-proof Celtics leak what he did, and then all of a sudden the Celtics look like heroes and the Nets look like perverts.
Well, and that's what happened already on Twitter. You saw all over Twitter was, I can't believe the Nets organization doesn't stand by women and all this stuff, and is going to hire this fucking Pepe Le Pew scumbag, and and here we go. But honestly, let's be honest. I don't know what Ime Udoka is without Will Hardy and Joe Mazzulla in his corner.
Right.
These are two highly touted assistant coaches that he had. Will Hardy.
I wish we had still had Will Hardy, man.
He would have been the head coach.
I know.
Will Hardy, the now head coach of the Utah Jazz, and Joe Mazzulla, now the youngest head coach in the NBA, was his second lead assistant. So these are two guys that both got head coaching jobs after he was fired. So it makes me think a little bit afterwards, after the whole Ime Udoka thing. And I was dick riding him too last year. I was like, oh man, I love it. This guy's incredible. A lot of me starting to think that was a lot of Will Hardy and a lot of Joe Mazzulla.
I mean, we do see that with almost every team.
Kind of like Doc Rivers,
right? Like a lot of the supporting staff then gets head coaching jobs.
Mm-hmm.
But not people that become the youngest head coach in the NBA.
Right.
Like Will Hardy, like Joe Mazzulla.
Right.
These guys are young, and they are, by the way, Brad's guys, not Ime's guys, and that's why we're seeing Joe Mazzulla on the sideline and not Damon Stoudemire.
True. Yeah. So is there a cause for concern, Vic, considering, the Celtics right now 19th in defensive rating, 8th in offensive rating, which is pretty good sign though. I mean, their offense, they're shooting well. They're tied for second in effective field goal percentage, getting good looks. 21st in the league in rebound percentage, which I think that's something you alluded to in those two games, obviously against the Cavs. So that doesn't look good. They were 10th last year in rebounds, but obviously they were 10th after that huge run at the end of last year. So small sample size, but are you concerned right now with those numbers as they are currently?
The number that concerns me the most, Sammy, is the defensive rating, the team defensive rating. This was a stalwart last year of our team, and what really separated us.
Because even when we struggled in the beginning of the year, we were still top 10, top 12 in defensive rating.
We weren't.
I thought we were.
Lower. No, we were lower than that last year.
We were in rough shape, and that's why I think we forget Ime's not Belichick or some amazing coach. I think he instilled a winning culture and helped us realize that we had the talent to win. And that's why I'd like to think that we can carry it on without him. But obviously, we've lost some other pieces here, but at least he showed the team, you can win. And I feel like when a team knows that too, and churns it around mid-season like they did, that's important. But I do think that can carry over with the coach. They just have to be told, you have to know you can win and win now without this person.
You're right, Sammy. They were number 2 actually in defensive rating pre-All-Star break last year, so that is quite concerning. Granted, small sample size this year. Like you said, our rebounding percentage is horrendous. We are one of the worst in the league in rebound percentage.
I mean, it's just a revolving door back there in the center position.
Yeah. What were we last year at rebounding?
I think
I felt like that was still
15, 14, but never this bad.
I just remember just yelling at the screen, can we please get a rebound?
Yeah.
During especially the finals.
Last year in rebounding, we were third, fourth, fifth in the league in rebounding last year.
Oh, did not feel.
Yeah. So and that's the thing is with championship teams are good rebounding teams.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at the Celtics this year, 26th in rebounding so far this year, not great. I smell Daniel Tice homecoming coming, Sammy. I think we're gonna make a Daniel Tice trade.
I mean, I'm okay with it because it just hurts me to see, and you see Al Horford is still effective, right? Al Horford can still play the game. He's not the type of center you need because he stretches the floor more, so he's not, down in the post to get, potential putbacks. Even defensively, he does a good job, but I don't think he should be playing the amount of minutes that he's playing because by the time the playoffs come, we're not going to have him, right? He's going to be burnt out. And that was the luxury we had last season. I think you mentioned it on our championship pod, where, Al Horford pretty much had a whole offseason. He didn't play for most of the year, and we got him mid-year, and, he was able to help because he had fresh legs. So
give me Daniel Tice back. We need another center.
Yeah. I would like to see maybe Blake get a little more minutes, hopefully, but
I don't think so. I don't think he's got it in him.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, so real quick, we'll run through some of these, small sample size, but some things for everybody to keep in mind. The big NBA headlines: Lakers and the Timberwolves currently struggling. Obviously something, Vic, you mentioned perfectly, concerned in Tinseltown. What is your take on the Timberwolves struggling so early, besides maybe all the fried chicken that Anthony Edwards is eating?
No, I think it's just early season stuff.
Okay.
I don't particularly think that the Wolves are a great team anyway, but I think that they are going to be at least an 8 seed this year, and they're definitely going to make the playoffs.
Yeah. The Jazz, as you perfectly mentioned, with Will Hardy, shocking the world right now. I think Danny Ainge thought he could just trade everybody away, get a bunch of slot players, and I'm gonna suck. But they're actually number 3 right now in the West.
Yeah. Yeah, it just signals more trades to come. And
let's bring Kelly Olynyk back. Fuck it.
What the hell? I would love Kelly.
I have a signed Kelly Olynyk thing somewhere in this office.
That would be great.
I'll tell you what, Kelly would be a perfect fit for this Celtics team. A big that can stretch the floor and rebound. Oh my God, please steal my beating heart. Give me Kelly Olynyk back.
You're welcome.
Kelly. Lest we forget
Danny Ainge would do it.
The Kelly Olynyk game.
Danny Ainge would give us some home cooking.
Danny.
But yeah, he seems a little bit worried over there. I don't know if it's a little bit of coaching, if it's a little bit of kind of those players maybe are playing with a chip on their shoulder. But yeah, the Jazz shocking the world. And the Warriors are surprisingly looking like they're in a little bit of a hangover right now. What say you, Vic, about the Warriors? Will they be fine? I mean, obviously they'll be fine, we think, but
they're currently in a 1-point game with the Orlando Magic, my friend, with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left to go in the game. But
yikes.
Sammy, I think this is just like you said, just a little hangover. I think they'll be fine.
Okay.
Still early. I'm waiting for the 25 game mark to get worried.
Okay. The Milwaukee Bucks, as I mentioned.
Also, the new rules, I think, might be having a little bit of an effect.
Right.
This world.
Yeah, a lot of travels, too. A lot of travels being called. It's very strange.
Travels and a lot, obviously, no take fouls.
Right.
Huge.
Yep.
Huge for pace of game. And look at my boy Paolo Banchero with a 6-foot 2-point shot to give the Magic the lead with 2 minutes left in the game.
Let's go, Magic.
I just want to point out that game I just saw, free throws tonight, is Magic 42, Warriors 12.
Wow.
And they're no, Warriors just a 1 point lead.
All right, so the Bucks currently 7-0, last undefeated team in the NBA, as I mentioned earlier. Now, I know this is a team that everybody primed last year as making the finals. Obviously, people say that the Celtics got lucky to make the finals because of, the Chris Middleton injury. Obviously, Chris Middleton is not quite back yet, but they look really good even before all that. They have one of the best defenses in the league right now. The Bucks are the team to beat, right, Vic?
All right.
You worried about them?
No.
Not at all.
No, because you stop one player, you stop their team. They're not a good team.
We couldn't even stop him in the Eastern Conference Finals, though. He had 50, 60 points against us.
Well, then you pull it.
He averaged 38, I think, that series.
I don't give a fuck. The guy fucking cheats, man. He just runs into people who doesn't get called.
He does.
I don't know what to tell you.
He does.
He's amazing, but also fuck him. He seems like such a nice guy, too, which makes it worse.
So we touched on Mitchell and the Cavs. So the Cavs look pretty good. You think they're still going to be kind of right outside that 5-seed area. But I like what I see from Donovan Mitchell.
But they're firm in that 6th spot, though, Sammy. That's a solid-looking team. I just think they're a little young to break that top 5. Actually, you know what? I take that back. Okay, let me reverse. Because who do I have in my top 5 already? I had the Celtics, the Bucks, the Sixers, the Heat, and was it the Nets?
Yep.
Who else did I have?
Let me ask you this: Are they better than the Bucks?
No.
Are they better than the Celtics?
As currently constructed, are they better? No. Are they a nightmare matchup? Yes.
Okay.
In a 7-game series, are they beating the Celtics? No.
Are they better than the Sixers?
They were last year, right? No.
No, I don't think they are, Sammy.
Better than the Heat?
No.
Knicks.
That was the one that I was iffy on.
So that's where the 5-6 comes in.
That's I'm iffy on that because I think the Knicks are good, man. I really do. I think Randall is looking good this year. I love what I'm seeing for Brunson.
Yeah.
Still don't think he's a star, but I think he's a guy that can go in there and give you good minutes.
Change the culture. Yep.
Change the culture, exactly.
Now, this is not really a big headline or, but it is a little bit concerning. And it's something that whenever I watch them play, I just never understand like how they're constantly in the picture, right? Like, and I give all the credit to Eric Spoelstra. And obviously I'm talking about the Miami Heat. Who are the Miami Heat, right? I mean, currently, I think they're currently sitting in ninth at 4-5. I mean, it's still early, 4-5, not terrible. Had a lot of road games here, but who are they? Do you think that with the way the East is structured, that they might have taken a step back in a sense where they didn't make any moves to move forward, so they might be not as much of a threat in the East as maybe in the previous 2 years?
I'm sorry, Sammy. I need 2 minutes. I need to put this Magic game on because it's getting heated here in the final minutes. but I will tell you that I am not worried about I don't worry about the Heat until the All-Star break, right? Because I believe at this same time last season they were like in the 5th seed spot. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not worried. Are you like? You tell me what you. I'm always talking about the NBA. I want to know what you think. Are you worried about this Heat team?
I said this to my buddy, who's a big Miami Heat fan, and I also got, hopefully JC's listening to this, but I always watch the Miami Heat, and I just don't understand how they're like a top 5 seed. Like, their roster construction is like, it reminds me of like what Bill Belichick does. Like, he just gets a bunch of like role players, right? And then obviously you got Jimmy Butler, who's kind of one of those borderline NBA superstars, right? I wouldn't say he's a superstar, but I mean, he's not a role player. He's kind of in that mediocrity level, but they still give people fits. And I understand playoffs are a totally different story, but where they're currently sitting, might be a little bit concerning considering I think the rest of the East got better, whereas they kind of stayed the same. They just have so many players that are just so meh to me. Like Tyler Hero can go off at any time. Very inconsistent, right? And he's also just dead points. Right? Like, that's all he gives you. He doesn't defend really well. He's not a playmaker for anybody else, but he'll just get buckets. He reminds me of like a Jamal Crawford, right? Like, just comes out the bench, gets buckets. But who else, right? Like, Bam's taken step back, and I mean, we haven't seen great Bam yet. And I mean, Jimmy Butler just doesn't do anything, I feel like, until the playoffs. So it's like, what are we going to get from regular season Miami? Are they just one of those teams that's like, we're fine being a 6 or 7 seed, and then we'll surprise people in the playoffs?
I don't think they're a 6 or 7 seed. I definitely agree with you, Sammy. I don't think that I agree with you when you say that they did not do anything to get better. Yes.
Okay. Right. Yeah. That's all I had on the NBA headlines. Real quick before we sign off, I know, Chris, you got to go. We've had you on for a long time. It was a great conversation, but real quick takeaway I wanted to get to. Chris, you can chime in as well. I know it's something we touched on a little bit when we were talking about the New England Patriots, but my big takeaway is I just don't know what the future of this team is. And I know it's something that's been said on all of the sports or Boston sports media. I don't know if you listen to WEI or all those channels, but like what can we look forward to, right? Like, it's really frustrating that we're in this purgatory, and it's like we don't know what direction Bill is trying to go. And it's really frustrating because he'll show one thing but then do the other. And 2 weeks ago I was sitting here saying, oh, this team's not going to win more than 4 games, but then we win the next 2. And I think it's partially the NFL's broken, like you said perfectly. That seems to be the theme, but also it's like, what do we do in this? Do we just lose games? We know Bill's not going to lose games, but he should, and it's frustrating that he's not going to. But yeah, you guys can chime in on this. Like, what is our future? Are we just going to be a team of mediocrity from here on out?
Yes.
Yeah, it's tough because I want the pieces to succeed, and I want Bill. Like I still think Bill is the reason we don't. Like a lot of teams in the league suffer. I mean, the Bears lost suck, but like for the most part, we don't get blown out. We're in games, and we're in games even that we shouldn't be. And there are a lot of games, even in the past 2 years, that you can point directly to Bill Belichick won that game. Probably more than Mac Jones won us the game. Probably most of them
Mac
were
Jones
Bill
never won us the
Belichick.
game.
You know, and that's where, but when you're missing that offensive piece that really makes everything click, that's what's tough. And that's why the Patriots are on my little screen and Red Zone gets the big screen now. And it's like, I still want to tune in, but I think we hope, and that's why Bailey Zappi's exciting, right? Because it's the hope that we hit on he is good at drafting quarterbacks late. Apparently, he's good at picking late quarterbacks that are still around in the late. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo has gone to a Super Bowl. Jacoby Brissett has been even the perennial backup that always finds his way into a starting role. Bailey Zappi did show signs of it in won games for us. I don't know. The excitement for Bailey Zappi is because of the vanilla-ness of Mac Jones. So at this point, it's like almost like, I don't know, just I guess keep letting, like, I don't feel like there's a next level of Mac Jones that I haven't seen, or just it's been the same game management and just like not the like at least there's been flashes. So I don't know. Yeah, Gardner Minshew is our future. That's the answer. Let's get Gardner Minshew. And we can all wear mustaches.
And to kind of end it, I think I'm kind of leaning towards the Victor frame of thought, even though he's a little crazy at times, where, you know, maybe it's time to cut ties with Bill. Maybe Bill should retire. Maybe we need the next
Magic.
Yeah, we just, because he's sticking with the old times.
I don't know. I don't think.
If anything, he needs to stop being a GM.
What it looks like without Bill, because it's ugly. It's really ugly. I don't think New England can handle not thinking we have a chance because of Bill. Go ahead. What's going on with the game?
That's
Magic one. Are we worried about Golden State? I don't know. Is that what's
Paolo Banchero just literally threw the ball out of bounds. 130, 129 Magic with 4.9 seconds left. I believe it was, I don't have the TV on right now, but I believe it was the Warriors that called the timeout, which means that they're going to get the ball at half. This comes on the heels of a Klay Thompson 3 to take the 130-126 lead down to 130-129. I think the Warriors are going to have the ball with a chance to win it at the end here.
With that being said,
I love the NBA.
Yeah. Thank you, Chris.
It's still against the Magic, so are we worried?
Yeah.
I love the Magic.
Perfect close. Thanks, Chris, for coming on.
Sami, right now, before we close, I'm going to give you one. Ready? Paolo Banchero, or what's the guy's name on Cunningham? Is it Cunningham?
Cade Cunningham?
On Detroit. Cade Cunningham on Detroit.
I like
Who's
Paolo
the better
Banchero.
number one overall pick?
Paolo Banchero. He's a wing, baby.
This guy's the fucking truth.
He is the truth.
Even though he just gave that turnover. That's more Mobamba's fault, but it's all good.
But all right, Chris, thank you so much, Bird Person, for coming on, giving us your awesome takes. We will, be keeping an eye out for any more that you have for us.
Got a touchdown, by the way. Oh, we're still waiting on Hurts, but yeah, Kenneth Gainwell
was
too.
Was that one of yours?
I was saying I would like if the odds were really high for him to have a touchdown.
Keeps trying to end the show, but it's not going to happen.
No, you're good.
Let's just take it to COD. We'll take it to COD.
Wait, Chris, what's Jalen Hurts' rushing yards at right now? Oh, he froze.
Oh, he did freeze.
He froze. All right. With that being said, thank you, everybody. Thank you to BP for coming on the show. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Townie Sports. And all that are new, we welcome you to the Townie Sports. We are your home of sports, and we are giving you all these great player props and best bets as our friend Chris here is frozen on the screen. At least he's smiling, though. Remember, we are live every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for choosing us for your listening pleasure on all things sports. The show would not be possible without you guys. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Arctic JC, Average Kurt Cooks, obviously all our homies. Shout out to Geronimo, as always. Remember to like the video, hit the subscribe button, Tell every one of your views, likes, and subscriptions help us with the YouTube algorithm to reach other potential viewers and grow our channel to new and greater heights. We have such great segments coming for you every single week, as you have seen with our Who Do You Love, as you have seen with Order in the Court, as you have seen with these player props that we're now giving you every week. So much more new stuff, new content coming your way. Like and subscribe. Don't forget to check out our Instagram page at Townie_sports and our TikTok page at Townie Sports Pod for the great mini clips and highlights of the show as they are dropped. But I am your host alongside the great Vic. We are Townie Sports. Peace out.
Hey, swag so mean, hey, swagger on 100. We keep it real, dog, nah, we ain't never fronted. You know my whole cap G clear, stay blunted. My toes stay bruised, cause I'm running to the money. Swag so mean, swagger on 100. We keep it real, dog, nah, we ain't never fronted. You know my whole cap G clear, stay blunted. My toes stay bruised.